Well, this is interesting. A new poll shows what Americans plan to do with their tax return. The survey from Jackson Hewitt says 33% will spend their refund check immediately. I'm kind of in that category. Another 22% plan to spend it within a few months. That's me too. And 23% say they will save it. This Money Monday, our financial expert, Paul Hood from Hood CPAs, is here with us with his advice on how to make the best use of those refund checks. Paul, as always, happy to have you here.
I appreciate being here.
So if someone came to you with their refund check, what would your advice be to them in terms of what to do with it?
Well, first, Shannon, the challenge is imagine you go to a nice restaurant or I go and I check my jacket. And at the end of dinner, they bring my jacket back to me, and then I jump up and down and say, yay, they gave me a jacket. No, it was always my jacket. So most people, their refund is actually their money. It's most people that get a refund, it's not free money. So people tend to think of the IRS, though, as they use it kind of like as a forced savings account. So I would try to tell people, think of it as your savings account if it's what you're doing. So at the end of the year, if you've saved money in your savings account, do you go and spend it or not? So in this case, you got to balance fun and being prudent, but try to take part of it, invest it for the future, and part of it go have fun.
That's what I've done.
Yeah, there you go. Good plan.
It's helping with my vacation a little bit, so I'm excited about that. We do have two viewer questions for you today. The first one comes from Mark. And Mark says, I was gifted $100,000 from my mother-in-law. I intend on paying her back $117,000. How do I pay her back without her having to pay taxes on it?
So, yeah, there's a reason why Mark is paying her $117,000 when he only got $100,000. That's for the use of her money, which is interest. So the reality is, if we're straight to the letter of the law, she needs to pay taxes on that $17,000 in interest. Now, if Mark pays her back her $100,000 and then a little bit later, or even right away, gifts her that other $17,000, that's fine. So it's got to be treated as a gift. Now, if Mark's got a business and Mom is in a lower income tax bracket, it might be better for Mark to have her pay taxes, and then he can take a deduction for it. But if it's for the use of the money, it's interest, and it really should be taxable. Now, most people, they're not going to do that. They're not going to have Mom pay the taxes on it, and I don't know that an IRS agent would really give them a hard time.
Okay, and then our second question is from Quentin. It's also our last question of the day. Quentin says, when I filed my tax return, it told me I had nearly $6,000 in overpayments that would be refunded back to me. However, the IRS only sent me a check for about $1,200. How do I get the rest of my money?
So, unfortunately, more than likely, he's claimed something on his return that he shouldn't, and he'll get a letter usually within a week or two, explaining the difference. He should. What we commonly see is, especially in the age of all of these stimulus checks and those kind of things, that if you didn't get this last $1,400, you report on your tax return 0, and they'll send you that $1,400 then. So a lot of times the IRS is correct. Now, if they're not correct, or they don't send you a letter, then it's just a matter of getting on the phone and sitting on hold for an hour or 2 hours until you can get them. But I'd wait for that letter and see what they say it is.
Okay. Paul, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Shannon.
If you have a question you'd like him to answer, you can send those to moneymonday@griffin.news. Be right back after this break with the last look at your traffic and weather.